You saw it in the third. I think, we've done it on many occasions, and it's disappointing that we didn't, start off that way as a collective group. We can't, start off that way, especially in this league. Teams are too talented. We can't come out and expect to just turn it on. And, whether it's one mistake, carry over to the next, and four of us may play great defense, and if one of us doesn't, our defenses, we rely on each other so much that, if we have a certain breakdown, that's where things get messed up. And, simple things from getting the coverages right, the switches, keeping our guys in front, not fouling, getting back in transition. Like, we covered all that, and we didn't do it. And that's not how you want to respond after losing the game. And, it's just really just on us to go out there and make that effort as a group. It really has nothing to do with the offense. It's really just our defense, and we pride ourselves on that. And, that's what we've been, even before I got here. And, for us to be who we are, we have to be really solid defensively, and we weren't the past two games. And, we've relied heavily to try. I wouldn't say we tried to outscore them, but, that's what we're hoping that our offense carries. That's not what we do. We'll have good offensive nights. We have weapons, but our defensively is really where we got to, make our staple.
Going off of that, why do you think there was just that kind of lack of defensive effort?
It's just little things. It's just one of those things where, you lose sight of it for a second. And if you do that one bout down the line, you get 34 and 35 in a quarter. And if after you get 34 in the first, teams get confidence, and they got some guys that can go. And as a group, they got confident. But it's on us. It's on us to go out there and take care of this. We got a tough one. If we come out like this against Golden State, it's not going to look pretty. So we got to continue to build. And I'm always going to say it's early, but this one is one of those ones where it can't happen again. I think we as a group, we know that, we feel that, and we'll be better.
Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. Donovan, JV used the term arrogance. You guys are obviously a confident group. Mm-hmm. How do you keep that confidence that you have and should have from crossing into arrogance?
I think it's one of those things where don't listen to anything you guys say. Quite frankly, I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but it's just one of those things where it's everybody's job to talk about good and bad. Not saying we all do that. Not saying not saying that at all. But I think it's natural when you're playing well. Things start to, creep in, and we feel good. We're playing good and all that. But we got to understand that two things. First, we aren't who we want to be yet. We got to continue to build and get there, which is what we've all been saying. But then two, the more success you have, the more people are going to come after you every single night and every single trip. And that's the past two nights. That's what it's been. Every game is what it's been. But the past two nights we're on the losing end of it. We've had games where we start out slow and come back and win. And I think tonight is just one of those nights where it's just like, look, we aren't who we are yet. And I think as a group we have a ways to go, and we've been saying that from the jump. It's been great to win 7, 8, whatever it was in a row. But we haven't accomplished anything. It's still November. We have a long way to go as a group, and nights like the past two games remind us of that. And I'm not going to say it humbles you. I'm not going to say we're a cocky group, but we're consistently always going to keep our confidence. But it starts with defensively. And we got to go out there every night and be able to just lock in on that end and not lose sight of what got us, what getting us to what we've been doing.
I saw a few times throughout the course of the game that you went to DG and you either patted him on the back or you had a conversation with him. What were you trying to get out of him in those moments, and what did you see from him?
Just confidence. He was a little under the weather tonight. I don't know if I knew that, but for him to go out there and fight for us, give us 33 tough minutes, may not have been what he have wanted, but he was out there. We have the utmost respect for him to go out there on a night where he's not feeling the best. But when you got to be able to go out there and every night, I'm just trying to tell him, look, like, we got your back. Just certain things. Don't worry about the shot. Don't worry about certain things. Just give us what you can give. And keep it in perspective, and I'll do as much as I can, especially on the offensive end, to kind of take that load off of you. And sometimes, like I told you at the press conference when I first got here, sometimes it's just stand in the corner and just keep your man occupied, and we'll find a way to get there. You saw Vert had a lot of opportunities because of that. Spacing's different, but for him, just keep going. Like it's never going to be easy. He had a rough go at it today just because he's under the weather, and but we as a group should be able to lift him up. We should be able to be there, and that's what I'm trying to do, with him, and he knows it, and he wants to be the best out there for us, and, I respect it and love that about him. I love his fight and his dog mentality, taking the matchups, even, not feeling 100%, and that's all you can want, as out of a teammate. And for me, just trying to show him my appreciation, our appreciation, that, man, we appreciate you out there fighting, continue to fight. It may not look pretty, but you're out there continuing to find a way to be out there for us, and that's pretty much all I've been saying to him.
Donovan, Cameron Starr from the Associated Press. I know you saw the Kings a lot when you were in Utah. Did you see anything different now that new roster? I mean, do they look different out there?
I want to say they just look hungry. And not to say that they didn't before, but they look like, they have, like, a hunger about them collectively. They got the pieces. Fox has been doing this since our rookie year. But you add Sabonis, you have a veteran who does it all in Harrison Barnes, Keegan Murray, who's finding his way, Kevin Huerter, who can shoot, Davion, obviously, I know what he does, Malik. Like, if you look down the line, you got guys that are playing for each other, and that's great to see out of them. Unfortunately, it was on our loss tonight, but after seeing them for so many times, so many over and over preseason and whatnot, this is, I would say, is one of the first times where I see this group, and it's like, man, like, they see where they want to go.
And just to add to that, I know Keegan guarded you a few times tonight, and I think vice versa. I mean, what do you think of him right now? He's kind of been struggling.
Yeah, he's good. I mean, like, it's tough. It's not always going to be sunshines and rainbows coming into the league. I knew haven't watched him much, during the year, but during his time at Iowa, I've seen him a bunch. And when you come into a situation where you're the dominant guy, in college and dominant ball handler, to come into a situation and trying to find your niche. I think, you look at tonight, he played pretty well tonight, and, he got the steal on me. He took the challenge to try and guard me tonight, and I respect that. But, it's going to just find your way, and, when he gets unlocked and gets more NBA experience, that's going to take this team to a higher level. They're already, a pretty good team. So he's going to be really good. He's going to be really good. And, with Mike Brown as the coach, man, they got some talent for sure.
Don, what do you want your team to learn from these last two outings?
Start the game off strong on both ends of the floor. That's it. That's all this is. And if we come out strong and come out with the way that we've played pretty much our whole second half of the season, like second halves in every game, we won't be in these positions. There are certain games where I feel like if we come out that way and set the tone early, we're not fighting in the fourth. We played a lot of games where it's close in the fourth, where it could have been avoided, or could have been just where we're just like, we start off strong and we set that tone. And like I've been saying, through wins and through losses, it's early. I'm glad we're going through this now and not in a few months from now. But it's one of those things where it's like, look, we got to set the tone on the defensive end and the offensive end. We got to get into our stuff, push the pace, but also continue to get stops. Can't keep taking the ball out the net and then expect to push it back at them. And we'll respond. We'll definitely respond as a group, and that's all you can hope for.
Ask one first. Donovan, what was your mentality in the third quarter?
By any means necessary, keep the game tied at some point. It didn't matter, what it was. Sometimes, like I said, different nights is different things from me, and just trying to find a way to be a positive voice. Obviously, I made some shots and whatnot, so that helps. But by any means, guarding, hitting shots, running plays, getting guys in sets. We did it. We had a really good third quarter. And, it was from a variety of different people. It wasn't just myself. But for me, just coming into the half, like, look, we're down 11. Let's just try and make it close and get into this fourth and make a push. And just keeping everybody's spirits high, because this place, I love playing in Sac because it's just one of those places where they get loud. Like, no matter if they're winning record, losing record, haven't made the playoffs in I don't know how long, but they're always loud. And I respect that about this crowd. And they hit a few shots, they can take you out of it, so just kind of keep the energy high, and keep guys, spirits up, because it was tough. They made some big shots and made some tough plays. And for me, coming in the third, it's just like, look, let's tie this game up and give ourselves a chance.